Aging can make our steps slower and leave us feeling more tired each morning we wake up. But for many men, the thing that worries them the most isn't the gray hair or the loss of stamina. It's the feeling that they are no longer as strong in intimacy as they once were. I've met so many gentlemen coming into my clinic, carrying with them burdens that aren't easy to talk about. They whisper questions about the decline in their marital life, about mornings that no longer show any signs, or about a long silence within their own bodies. And most of them think, maybe it's just old age and I have to accept it. But as a doctor specializing in men's health, I am Samuel Grant, do not believe in that kind of surrender. After more than 30 years of research and clinical counseling, I've come to realize a simple but powerful truth. With just a few right choices in your daily diet, men over 60 can absolutely improve circulation, restore sexual function, and reignite a source of vitality that once seemed to have faded. In today's video, I'll share with you 3 common, but incredibly effective types of nuts. They've been proven by numerous studies to boost blood flow, support erection quality, and help stabilize testosterone levels, all through natural means without the use of medication. And the first nut you're about to discover plays a foundational role in the male reproductive system. Yet many people overlook it, thinking it's just an ordinary snack. Trust me, you'll be surprised by its true value. Before we begin, I'd truly love to know more about you. What's your name and where in the world are you watching this video from? Don't hesitate to leave a comment below. To me, it's a real joy to be by your side on this journey to better health. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss any practical, in-depth tips on men's sexual health after 50. If you have any questions or experiences you'd like to share, feel free. I'm always here to listen and respond in future videos. Now let's move into the first part, where you'll discover 3 nuts that might seem ordinary, but hold the power to stimulate blood circulation and restore masculine vitality in ways few would ever expect. Nut 1. Walnuts, enhancing blood flow, building the foundation for lasting virility. I want to begin today's journey with a nut that may seem familiar, yet it has a profound impact on the sexual health of middle-aged and older men, especially in boosting blood circulation, increasing energy, and improving sexual function naturally. I remember a specific case. Mr. Thomas, 68 years old, came to see me. He looked quite normal on the outside, but there was concern in his eyes. He shared honestly, "I still want to be close and intimate with my wife, but my body just isn't cooperating like it used to." His issue, just like many other gentlemen, isn't about desire, but poor blood flow and weakened vascular function due to age. And this is where walnuts shine. Small and humble, yet they contain L-arginine, an important amino acid the body uses to produce nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels dilate, improving blood flow throughout the body, especially to the pelvic region, which directly affects the ability to achieve and maintain an erection. As we age, the natural production of nitric oxide declines significantly. However, by adding the right foods, like walnuts, the body can gradually restore circulation and improve sexual performance without the need for medication. Additionally, walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have anti-inflammatory properties, reduce the risk of atherosclerosis, and support cardiovascular health, all of which form the physiological foundation of male virility after 60. Many of my patients, after consistently adding a small portion of walnuts to their daily diet, began to notice better sleep, more alert mornings, and most notably, a return of vitality in a natural, gentle, yet noticeable way. What I love most about this nut is its simplicity and safety. It's not a drug, and it comes with no side effects. Your body recognizes it, accepts it, and uses it effectively as part of the body's natural self-healing process. If you're entering a phase where your stamina feels reduced and sensitivity is fading, walnuts might be a foundational choice you should consider incorporating into your daily nutrition. However, improving circulation is just one piece of the puzzle. In the next part, I'll introduce you to another nut that not only supports blood flow, but also has a direct impact on erection quality and the ability to sustain male vitality, one that's been clinically studied. You won't want to miss it. My dear friend, if you're still watching this video up to this point, I truly appreciate your patience and your interest. Please leave a number 1 in the comments below to let me know you're still listening and walking alongside me on this journey today. Nut 2, pistachios, supporting erection, sustaining vitality, and restoring connection. A few years ago, I had a patient named Richard, 72 years old. His overall health was fairly good. He ate well and maintained light physical activity, but he still felt something was missing. I still have the desire, I still have feelings, he said, but my body reacts so slowly. It's like I'm still there, but my body isn't participating with me. Richard had tried using a few support medications, but quickly gave them up because of dizziness, flushing, and uncomfortable side effects that made him feel unnatural. What he needed was a gentler method, one that wouldn't put extra stress on his aging body. I advised him to try adding pistachios into his daily diet. You might be thinking it's just a light snack. But in reality, this nut has been clinically proven to support male sexual function. A notable study in Turkey showed that men who added pistachios to their diet for just 3 weeks had significant improvements in erection strength, endurance, and sexual satisfaction, all without needing medication. What makes pistachios powerful is their high content of L-arginine, which boosts nitric oxide production just like walnuts, improving blood flow. But even more impressive is the unique combination of antioxidants, plant sterols, and unsaturated fats in pistachios. These help support vascular health, reduce inflammation, and stabilize cholesterol, critical factors that affect natural erection ability. When Richard started taking a small serving of pistachios daily after lunch, the first changes came subtly. He slept better, felt more alert, and became more confident and proactive in his intimacy. After a few weeks, his self-assurance returned, without pressure, without forcing anything. Pistachios are not just heart-friendly snacks. They are a natural tool helping men reconnect with their bodies quietly but effectively. However, if you're looking for a solution that restores strength from the very root, where all physiological responses and masculine emotions begin, then the next nut is one you simply can't overlook. It's a nut with a powerful impact on male hormones and prostate health, the solid foundation of performance and confidence after 60. Nut 3. Brazil nuts, restoring hormones and vitality from the root. One of the most common problems among men after 60 is not always obvious. Many don't feel pain or have severe symptoms, yet they carry a general sense of lost interest, declining vitality, and no longer feeling that masculine strength like before. I clearly remember a patient named Gary, 66 years old. He came to see me not because of any specific symptom, but because of a concern that was hard to name. I still love my wife, I still try to keep good habits every day, he said, but I just don't feel like myself anymore. After looking deeper into his diet, I realized that Gary, like many others, was deficient in an essential mineral the body cannot produce on its own: selenium. And this was exactly when I introduced him to a nut that few people mention, yet plays an important role in regulating male hormones: the Brazil nut. Just 1 to 2 nuts per day can provide enough selenium to support testosterone production, improve sperm quality, boost vitality, and even protect the prostate. An element not to be overlooked for older men. Gary started that simple habit each morning, eating 1 Brazil nut right after brushing his teeth. And over time, changes began to appear: deeper sleep, a more positive mood, and best of all, the return of desire in a natural and unforced way. What's special about Brazil nuts is not only their effectiveness, but also their simplicity. No need for large quantities, just the right amount, consistently, and the body will gradually self-regulate and restore itself according to its natural rhythm. If you're feeling a slowdown in energy, emotion, or sexual health, don't rush into complicated solutions. Sometimes, a small daily change is the exact piece that helps you reconnect with your body in a powerful and lasting way. However, the strongest impact doesn't come from using these nuts individually. It arises when you combine all 3 properly, creating a comprehensive support system for men's health. And that's what I want to share with you next, where you'll see just how harmoniously these 3 simple nuts can work together. If you're still watching up to this point, thank you for staying with me. That tells me you truly care about your health and your masculinity. Please leave the number 3 in the comments below so I know you're still listening and that I'm not just talking to myself. Part 2. Why these 3 nuts work better when combined. When it comes to men's health, we often tend to focus on each individual symptom: fatigue, then sexual issues, then blood pressure or hormones. But in reality, the body doesn't function in isolated parts. It operates as a tightly interconnected system. That's also why real results don't come from using individual foods separately, but from knowing how to combine them at the right time so their natural components can support and enhance each other. I still clearly remember the case of Dan, a 71-year-old patient. He had once tried pistachios after reading an article. A few months later, he switched to walnuts and then later tried Brazil nuts. But all of it happened in short bursts, lacking consistency and regularity. Dan came to me and said, "I've tried all three, but I don't feel any difference." I simply suggested he stop the scattered approach and instead combine all three types, each at a fixed time of day, consistently for 3 weeks. And the result was satisfying for both of us. Without any other supplements, he began to feel lighter, his morning energy stabilized, and most importantly, the mental connection to himself returned, something he had lost for a long time. The reason is very clear. Walnuts help expand blood vessels, bringing oxygen and nutrients to the organs quickly, stabilizing circulation, a prerequisite for every system in the body to function well. Pistachios enhance the quality of sexual response by boosting erection strength and sustaining endurance during intimacy. Brazil nuts act as the gatekeeper for the hormonal system, maintaining testosterone levels and protecting the prostate. When combined, these three nuts not only add up their effects, but also trigger a kind of biological synergy, where each component brings out its best performance thanks to the support of the others. And the great thing is, you don't need a complex diet or a tedious routine. Just 3 small steps each day, at the right times, and your body will gradually self-adjust and recover in the most natural way. However, even though this combination is powerful, there's still one thing that could make all your efforts useless. A common mistake that many men over 60 still make unconsciously. And in the next part, I'll share with you exactly what that is so you can recognize it and avoid repeating it. Part 3. The common mistake that makes many men lose results even when on the right track. Over many years working with men over the age of 60, I've realized a sad truth that many fall into. It's not that they lack effort, it's not that they don't want to improve, but that they've quietly given up without even realizing it. The story often begins very subtly. A little more fatigue after waking up, one failed attempt at intimacy, then a hesitant look in the mirror. And instead of actively exploring or adjusting, many men simply shrug and say, "Maybe it's just old age. At this point, I'll just live out what's left." I once met a patient named Bill, 69 years old, tall build, still with a spark of optimism in his eyes. But when he spoke about himself, he sighed. "I don't expect much anymore, I just figure I'll live out the rest of my time." And that sentence, which sounded so casual, was in fact the biggest barrier to the recovery path of so many men. Why? Because they no longer believe they deserve to feel strong again. They begin to cut down their needs, suppress their emotions, even lose connection with their spouse. All because they think, "I'm too old to expect anything more." But the truth is, your body has never abandoned you. It's simply waiting for you to begin again. With Bill, I didn't ask him to change too much. I simply suggested, eat the 3 nuts at the right times. Start light walking every morning. And most importantly, believe he could still live fully, not just survive. And after just a few weeks, he returned with a completely different spirit. Not to become 30 again, just to become himself again, clearer, healthier, and more connected to what he loves. The biggest mistake of aging doesn't lie in the numbers on paper, but in how we choose to live with those numbers. And if you truly want to return to a state of strength, confidence, and vitality, then the next part is just for you. Because I'll guide you through the simplest way to apply these 3 nuts into your daily life, through a realistic, easy-to-remember routine that never feels overwhelming. Part 4. A simple daily habit, 3 small steps that make a big change. So many patients have come to me with exhaustion in their eyes, complaining that they've read too much health advice, tried too many methods, taken too many supplements, but couldn't stick to anything for long because it was all too complicated. And what I always tell them is, the key isn't how much you do, it's whether you do it right and consistently. That's why I built a very simple habit, 3 small steps, tied to 3 familiar times of day, easy to remember, easy to do, and capable of creating noticeable changes. Morning, right after brushing your teeth, take 1 Brazil nut. Just 1 is enough to meet your daily selenium needs, helping balance male hormones and protect the prostate. You can keep a small jar in the bathroom or kitchen so you don't forget. Midday, after your main meal, take a small handful of unsalted pistachios. This is the ideal time to take advantage of their benefits, improving blood flow, stabilizing blood sugar, supporting erection strength, and sustaining afternoon energy. Evening, about 1 hour before bed, take a handful of walnuts. They not only enhance circulation during rest, but also help reduce inflammation, protect the heart, and nourish the nervous system while you sleep. 3 times, 3 nuts, no complicated memory needed, no drastic lifestyle changes. But when done consistently, they can reactivate the natural recovery mechanisms of the male body after 60. And remember, the most important thing isn't doing a lot. It's doing it consistently, correctly, and truly listening to your body with each step. Dear friend, if you've followed the video to this point, I'd like to take a moment to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who has listened, understood, and walked alongside thousands of men like you. I know the feeling of waking up out of breath, the awkwardness of no longer holding your strength like before, the quiet loneliness when you no longer feel connected to your spouse as you once did. But I also know one important truth. Your body hasn't left you. It's just waiting for you to choose yourself again. These 3 nuts, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, are not miracle solutions, but they are natural, healthy foundations that can help restart biological balance, hormonal health, and circulation, all the things men over 60 truly need. You don't need to change your whole life. Just start with 3 small steps each day, because in the end, masculine strength never disappears, it only lies dormant, waiting for you to awaken it the right ways. If today's video gave you a little hope, a clear direction, or simply the feeling of being supported, I truly hope you'll subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future insights about men's health after 50. And if you know someone, a friend, a loved one, or even your father who might need this knowledge, please share this video with them. You never know how one small action could create a big change. I'm Dr. Samuel Grant. Thank you for listening, for your patience, and for choosing to walk with me on this journey. I wish you strength, confidence, and fulfillment in every phase of life. We'll meet again.